So I went out into the field with a Nikon Z6 III and the Nikkor Z 85mm f1.2s for two reasons. One, kind of just wanted to do a portrait shoot. Two, I wanted to see how good the Nikon Z6 III's eye tracking is with the 85mm f1.2 at f1.2. So this entire shoot was at f1.2. Is it better than the Nikon Z8 or the Nikon Z9? Maybe, but are you gonna notice a difference? I don't know. Did I notice a difference? Not in the field, but we're gonna look at these images, maybe do a few edits, but first, I've got to get over here and I have to check the hit rate. And we're gonna do that right now. Just by looking at the small icons, I mean, I can already tell why the 85mm f1.2s is my favorite lens of all time, because the little icons look gorgeous. So I have 131 images, it looks like, that were all shot at f1.2 unless I accidentally shot them somewhere else. But we need to check the hit rate, so let's zip through that. So very disappointingly, I counted about 50 misses, which gives us a 62% hit rate, which is not very good at all. I just realized that I may have shot this entire shoot in animal eye tracking. Before I went out and did this shoot, I was testing the Z6 III with the dogs running around in the backyard, and I was on animal eye tracking, and I was using the 135 because that has the most telephoto of all the lenses I have right now. About a week after this shoot, I did another shoot, and I switched it from animal eye tracking to human eye tracking. So this test that I did, totally, I'm fairly certain that I can just call it completely invalid. So that's embarrassing and a waste of time, but we still got some great images, so we're gonna jump into some edits right now. We got this first one here. We're gonna go, and that's like seriously all it needs because the 85-1.2 is just so fantastic. Let's add some contrast. It's so, God, I love this lens. Give it some whites, some blacks, some clarity, some dehaze. Golly. Let me switch to my handy Wacom pen here. Pull this feathering down. Boop. Boop. Man, that looks pretty great already. Add a little vignette. God, the 85 is just like so magical. That looks so good just like that, like so little effort put into it. But I do want to try this image out with some of my presets, which by the way, you can get at zwadePhoto.com/digital products. I want to go through ready for my close-up presets before I move on, because that'll kind of give me an idea, because every model is different and every day is kind of different. It's going to give me an idea of whether or not I want to hang out in that preset pack or whether I want to hang out in the wacky preset pack. And so BW1930 Grit and Gravy is freaking awesome all the time. BW Grit and Gravy is like the ready for my close-up equivalent of Grave Digger, which is in Portrait Swag. It's the black and white that just always looks sick. It's 100% like my style of black and white. I like Crisp Cool Boost. Enhance Uno. These are much more subtle. Just cool. Kids Aren't Alright is real grungy. I like this a lot. This is kind of a more subtle Dragon edit. Old Magazine. Subtle Things. I'm really kind of liking Black Tar Heroic. If I just pull the oranges down a little, I like that. I like what it does to the hair. Then we got Vampire, which Vampire has such a high hit rate on the images that it just looks really good on. It's really dark. It's really spooky. And I think on this one, I will leave this one as Vampire. On this one, I kind of like in black and white. Allie is probably going to be more of a subtle style of editing based on her complexion and the tone transitions in her skin. And so maybe we'll stick with the ready for my close-up, which they generally tend to be a little more subtle anyway. The Dragon kind of style does look really good with her though. Ooh, pop, lock, and shop it works on this one. Need to pull the texture just a little, soften it. Boom, I dig that. Let me give it a little vignette. Those blues are a little aggravating right there. We'll kill those a little. Boom. Or should I say, pop. That doesn't sound as good as boom. Internet Zilla is pretty good on that one. Kids aren't all right. This is the one. Oh my god, it looks so crisp. I've been missing Dragon editing lately, and this one is just kind of like a one-click. Dragon editing is extremely time-consuming, and this one it just kind of gets you part of the way there. I mean, for a one-click, kind of halfway to Dragon, that is absolutely awesome. The eyes don't even need to be brightened. Okay, so on this kind of style shot, I'm generally liking like a more matte look because there's not a whole lot of emphasis on the face. And so let's try like subtle matte or matte punch. Matte punch for sure. Give it some contrast. I want to brighten the subject and darken the background. I can do that with a radial. Invert that, pull that down, darken the scene. Give it some highlight. Maybe just come in here with a brush. Let me feather this a little. Give it just a little exposure. Let's get that painted and then we can control it. I actually don't like that. We need to be more deliberate with our brush. Just kind of hit the light areas. I want to feather this a lot. Hit the light areas, I think. Just a little. Darken the lip, actually. Just a little. Dig it. This pose isn't really dramatic enough for a kind of insane edit like Kids Aren't Alright, so we'll probably just keep this one a little subtle. Pop, lock, and shop it isn't quite as subtle things. Urine of a ram. If you get that reference, we can be friends. Crisp, cool boost is pretty good. This needs a crop. I screwed up that framing big time. Might brighten the eyes. I like giving eyes clarity as well. Makes them real crispy. It does darken them though, so you have to come back and... There we go. Let's see what they look like. That's a little extreme. Cool. I don't want this to be wickedly long, and so I just realized I was just going through one by one because there's a lot of good shots in this. So we'll just pick a couple more, get some variety going. I like Grave Digger on this. Let me straighten my horizon a little. Grit and Gravy is actually a little bit better on this one. Cool. Ooh, I don't do Blue Mood Portrait that often, but it works here. Just need to brighten the eyes a little. Ooh, I like this image a lot. That might be my favorite one so far. I really like Internet Zilla with this one. The oranges can come down just a little. And then the highlights. Oh, I love that. I love that. A little bit of distracting blue in the boot. I can control that. There we go. Sick. Bit of a funky subframe going on. I like kids aren't all right on that one. I'll just pull the texture a little. I love it. I'm gonna brighten the eyes just a little. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Doesn't even need clarity. Awesome. And this one here, honestly, like a one-click matte punch, that's pretty good. Just need to brighten the face a little bit. I can use this AI inside Lightroom to do that. Brighten the face just a tad. I like that. BW Grit and Gravy is pretty good. Let's see what Gravedigger's a little better in this one. I'm gonna go with Old Magazine on this one. Brighten it a little bit. Needs a radial gradient for sure. Maybe needs some contrast, a little more contrast. There we go. The eyes could probably come up a little. Boom. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about these. I really liked these kind of shooting through the leaves. Oh, dude. Black Tar Heroic. God, I love these wacky presets. Let's bring up the eyes and we will call this good. They need a little clarity this time. A little refinement on that. I call that one good. So we're going to get out, we're going to retest this. We're going to make sure that I'm on human eye tracking this time, and then we'll get a real idea of how the Z6 does. Pretty embarrassing to have that kind of a screw up, but we got some really, really cool shots and some good edits. I'm going to edit the rest of these off camera and get them sent over to Allie. I'm Z Wade, the Z Wade, and Z Wade Photo. Stay sharp, YouTube.